In today's video, we are diving into a crucial question. Should you buy a car outright, or is financing the way to go? Now, buying a car can be a very expensive venture to most people. Therefore, it is crucial to weigh the pros and the cons of buying outright against financing. Now, with my years of experience in the motor trade, I've come to understand that the answer to this question depends on an individual's financial situation. Now, I'll reveal those secrets dealerships don't want you to know to give you an insider's perspective. Welcome back to Faith Focus Money, where we talk about all things money. My name is Amaka Ogu, and I'm a trained management accountant with 14 years experience working within the motor trade in the UK. And whether you're making your first car purchase or just considering your options, now this video aims to dissect the pros and the cons of each option, providing you with a clear, unbiased look into everything you need to know to make an informed decision. Now let's start with the basics. Now you can either buy a car outright with cash or finance it through a loan. Now, buying a car outright means you pay the entire cost upfront. You walk away with no monthly payments, no interest rates hanging over your head, but it requires a significant amount of cash on hand. Financing, on the other hand, involves taking out a loan for the car's purchase price minus any deposit you make. We will compare the two most popular finance options, which are the hire purchase agreement and the personal contract purchase, which is PCP. Now, using a mid-range Ford Focus as an example, we will examine the total financial cash outlay required for each option and considering factors like interest rates, loan terms, and the car's depreciation. In this example, we will take a vehicle purchase price of 11,500, a customer deposit of £2,000, a finance term of 48 months or 4 years, and an interest rate of 5%. And the first finance contract we'll be looking at is the hire purchase. Now, in a hire purchase agreement, you pay the deposit upfront, which reduces the amount you need to borrow, and this amount is repaid over the finance term of the agreement. The calculation of the monthly payment would include the principal amount plus interest divided over the finance term. Now, at the end of the term, you own the car outright. So let's look at the breakdown of the numbers for the hire purchase agreement. So you've got a loan amount of 9,500. Now the interest over 48 months comes to £1,899.80. And the monthly payment is £237.48, which brings the total amount repayable, including deposit, to £13,398.80. This means that over the 48-month term, you will pay a total of £13,398.80, which includes your initial deposit of £2,000 and the interest accrued over the period. Now, HP agreements typically do not come with mileage restrictions. Now, at the end of the term, there is no large balloon payment and you own the car outright without any additional payments. Now, let's look at the second finance contract, which is the personal contract purchase agreement, PCP. Now, PCP finance splits the car's cost into a deposit, monthly payments, and a final balloon payment, which is otherwise known as the guaranteed future value of the car, if you decide to keep the car at the end of the term. And the GFV is the predicted value of the car at the end of the term. Now, in this case, we would assume £4,000. Monthly payments are lower than HP as they cover only the depreciation. And the depreciation is the difference between the loan amount after deposit and the GFV plus interest. And to own a car under the PCP agreement, you must pay the GFV at the end of the term. Otherwise, you can return the car or trade it in. Now let's look at the numbers for the PCP agreement. You've got a loan amount minus the GFV, which is 9,500 minus 4,000, which brings us to 4,500. Now this is the amount that is required to be financed plus interest over time. And the interest over 48 months comes to £1,099.80. Amount repayable comes to £12,598.80, which is your total deposit plus your loan amount plus interest. Now, your monthly payment with the PCP is £137.48, which is typically lower than HP since you are not covering the full value of the car. Now, at the end of the term, you have your balloon payment of 4,000, which is required to take ownership of the car. And there are other charges that you need to consider when taking out a PCP agreement. You've got the excess wear and tear charges. Now, you may be charged for any damage that falls outside fair wear and tear when returning the vehicle at the end of your finance agreement, if you're looking to trade the car in or return the vehicle. Now, you've also got mileage restrictions with the PCP agreement, and exceeding these limits can result in additional charges at the end of the agreement. Now, excess mileage charges can accumulate and add a considerable amount to the overall cost if you frequently exceed the mileage limit in the finance agreement. Now, let's look at the pros and the cons of each of these finance contracts. Now, we'll look at the pros first. Now, with the hire purchase agreement, you own the car outright at the end of the agreement. Now, with the HP agreement, typically you don't have any mileage restrictions. So it gives you more freedom to drive around, go anywhere where you like for as far as you want. Also, there is no balloon payment at the end of your HP contracts once the final payments are made. If we look at the cons of the HP option, the monthly payments with HP are often higher than PCP. Now, as they are calculated over the cost of the car, over the full cost of the car. Now, if you want to change your car before the end of your contract, you may need to settle the finance and take out a new agreement, which can be less flexible than PCP. Let's look at the pros of PCP. Now, obviously, you've got cheaper monthly payments, which is significant when you're looking at comparing both of them. You may also be able to drive a newer car or higher spec car that you might not normally be able to afford with other finance options. Now, you do not need to purchase the car at the end of the finance term. You could either trade it in or for a newer version, or you pay the GFV to own the car. And the cons with the PCP is that the balloon payments can be very expensive if you decide to keep the car. Now, you will be charged for any damage on the vehicle that falls outside fair wear and tear. Now, you would also be charged for any excess mileage. And I think this is the kicker. A lot of us do a lot more mileage than what you sign in your contract. Now, over a period of 4 years, that could add up and could add a considerable amount of cost to your agreement. Now, until the final GFV is made, the finance company legally owns the car. You do not own the car until you pay the GFV. Now, if you prefer lower monthly payments and the flexibility at the end of your finance contract with the option to return the car, part exchange it, or pay the GFV to own it, PCP could be the better choice for you. Now, if your priority is total cost and owning the car at the end of the finance term with no further large payments, HP might be the more cost-effective route. These findings highlight the importance of considering both your long-term financial goals and your immediate financial situation when choosing between finance options for a car purchase. Now, in conclusion, whether buying a car outright or through finance depends on your individual circumstance, financial health, and personal values. There's no one size fits all answer, but armed with the right information, you can make a choice that aligns with your financial goals and lifestyle. My goal with this video is to provide you with a comprehensive understanding of the implications of both options. If you found value in this video, please don't forget to subscribe and consider sharing it with someone in the midst of making this decision. Now, I would love to hear from you. Did you choose to buy outright or did you finance? And why? Please drop your comments in the comment section and let's help each other out. Let's keep the conversation going. Thank you so much for watching.